Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. This is MD Saiful Islam, an assistant teacher of renowned high school of Bangladesh, and you are most welcome in my Saiful English Academy and Narration English private home. My dear learners, hope that you are very fine by the grace of Almighty Allah, and you watched my previous class smartly. And with the reference of my previous class, this class have been present in front of you with a new version and the new class named narration of assertive sentence. My dear learners, in my previous class, you were told about various kinds of topics of narration. In my previous class, you were told, my dear learners, at first you were told what's narration? What's narration? You are told that, my dear learners, narration word is originated from narrate. And at the time of making understands about the definition of narration, you are told that, my dear learners, the speaker of a sentence is called usually narration, and another name of narration is speech. You are also told that, my dear learners, about your classification of narration. You are told that, my dear learners, normally we can classify narration into two ways: direct narration, indirect narration. You are also told about parts of direct narration. You are told that, my dear learners, there are two parts of direct narration, such as reporting verb and reported speech. You are also told that, my dear learners, area of narration. You have to mind here that, my dear learners, there are five categories of area of narration, such as narration of assertive sentence. Number two, narration of interrogative sentence. Number three, narration of imperative sentence. Number four, narration of authoritative sentence. Number five, narration of exclamatory sentence. Exclamatory sentence. You are also told that about some basic rules of changing narration from direct to indirect. You are also told that, my dear learners, there are three basic rules of changing narration, such as changing rules of basic changing rules of person, basic changing rules of verb, and basic changing rules of adverb. You are also told that, my dear learners, what's a person? You are told that, my dear learners, a noun or a pronoun used in a sentence as a subject, an object, or a possessive is called a person. And normally we can classify a person into three ways: the first person, second person, and third person. You are also told that, my dear learners, what's first person? You are told that, my dear learners, the speaker of a sentence is called first person. That means I and we are called first person. What second person? The listener of a sentence is called second person, and only you is called second person, and except I, we, and you. All categories of noun or a pronoun used in the sentence as subject and object or possessive are called third person. Netherlands. You are told about changing basic rules of person. You are told that, my Netherlands, if subject of repeated speech is first person, it must be changed according to subject of reporting verb. If subject of repeated speech is second person, it must be changed according to object of reporting verb. And if subject third person, and there is no any change at the time of changing narration from direct to indirect. My dear learners, you are also told about changing verb. There are some certain verb which are changed at the time of converting narration from direct to indirect, such as amateur will be changed into water will be changed into heaven, heaven has changed into had, shall oblique will be changed would, can, could, may, might, must, had to. V1 changed into V2 changed into had plus V3, and come will be changed into go. You are told that, my dear learners, there are some adverbs which will be changed at the time of narration, changing narration from direct to indirect, such as today will be changed into that day, tonight will be changed into that night, now will be changed into then, tomorrow will be changed into the next day changed into the following day, the next night changed into the following night, the next week, the following week, the next month changed into the following month, the next year changed into the following year. Yesterday will be changed into the day before. Last day changed into the previous day. Last week changed into the previous week. Last night changed into the previous night. Last year changed into previous night. This will be changed into that. This will be changed into those. Here changed into there. Hither changed into thither. Ego changed into before and thus changed into so. Maintenance. Such kinds of various kinds of topics about narration was the discussion matter of my previous classes. My dear learners, with the reference of my previous class, today's class, I have been present in front of you with a new announcement and class about area number one. That means narration of assertive sentence. Narration of assertive sentence. So, my dear learners, now take a look at the board and try to understand. But before starting today's class, I want to declare topics of today's class. My dear learners, in this class, at first, I'm trying to make you understand about the definition of an assertive sentence. Assertive sentence. Secondly, my dear learners, I'm trying to make you understand about the selection way of an assertive sentence. Thirdly, I'm trying to make you understand about structure of changing narration of an assertive sentence. And finally, that means at last, I'm trying to make you understand some examples of narration of an assertive sentence. So, my dear learners, now take a look at the board and try to understand. Maybe learners, at first, I'm trying to clarify about definition of an assertive sentence. We can say that, my dear learners, an assertive sentence is a sentence which makes a statement or an assertion. Okay, my dear learners, if you want to define an assertive sentence, you can say that, my dear learners, an assertive sentence is a sentence which makes a statement or an assertion. Assertion. Okay, my dear learners, of that you have understood clearly. And from here, you have to mind that, my dear learners, there are two categories of assertive sentence, such as affirmative sentence and negative sentence. Negative sentence. What's affirmative sentence? An affirmative sentence is one category of assertive sentence which makes a statement in the sense of affirmation, and negative sentence make the sense of negation. Okay, my dear learners, that you have understood clearly. Now, my dear learners, I want to assure about selection of an assertive sentence. You have to mind that, my dear learners, there are only one way to identify an assertive sentence, such as starting word, subject, and finally ended, not a full stop. Starting with the subject and finally with the not so full stop. Of that you have understood clearly, my dear learners. It's a notable thing that, my dear learners, among various kinds of sentence obtaining narration, such as narration of assertive, narration of interrogative, narration of imperative, narration of optative, narration of exclamatory. You have to mind that, my dear learners. You'll have to select or identify sentence to see the reporting verb. To see the reporting verb. Okay, my dear learners, it's notable things. Before discussion matter of changing narration. Of course, you know that, my dear learners, in my previous class, I was trying to make you understand. So there are two parts of direct narration. Direct narration. One part reporting verb and another part reported speech. Reported speech. Okay, my dear learners, you will have to select a sentence to see the reported speech. To see the reported speech. Hope that you have understood clearly. My dear learners, now I'm trying to show you structures of changing narration of an assertive sentence. My dear learners, take a look at the board and try to understand. Okay, my dear learners, at the time of changing narration from direct to indirect, especially a narration of assertive sentence, there is no any change of a reporting verb. Reporting verb. You'll have to write it down reporting verb, portion of reporting verb, and unchangeable situation. Okay, my dear learners, then you'll have to use conjunction that removing comma and inverted comma and inverted comma. Then you'll have to use subject of reported speech according to the basic rules of person. Then you'll have to use verb of reported space according to basic rules of narration, changing narration, and finally you will have to use extension of reported space according to the basic changing rules of narration, and finally ended with the notes of full stop. How that you have managed to tell it. My dear learners, at first try to save this structure in your memory. Okay, my dear learners, at the time of changing narration of a certain sentence, you have to use at first the portion of reporting verb, unchangeable situation. Then, in the middle of the statement, you have to use conjunction that, in this case, you will have to remove comma and inverted comma. Then, thirdly, you will have to use subject of reported space, then verb of reported space, then extension of reported space, and finally, you will have to use the notes of full stop. On that, you have understood clearly. Now, trying to give some example to clarify about this problem. So, my dear learners, take a look at the board and try to understand. He said to me, I am learning English now. Okay, my dear learners, at first you'll have to identify this is as a sentence or not, my dear learners. Take a look at the board and try to understand. And this is, of course, the direct narration, and every direct narration must have two parts. Two parts or portion. One portion is reported space, and another portion is reporting verbs. Dear learners, in my previous class, you were told how to select your various kinds of sentence. Mind that, my dear learners, you will have to identify sentence to see the reported speech portion of reported speech. In this narration, you'll have to say that, my dear learners, starting word subject and finally ended with the notes of full stop. So, maintenance, of course, this statement is an assertive sentence, and when you'll be sure about any kinds of assertive sentence, you'll have to follow the structures pattern. At first, you'll have to write down portion of reported speech. He said to me. Okay, middle then middle of the statement, removing comma inverted comma will have to use that. Then subject of reported speech. Here subject I. Of course, first person, which was the discussion matter of my previous class, and you were told that, my dear learners, if subject of reported speech is first person, it must be changed according to subject. According to subject. So here you will have to write he. Then a verb. We are told that, my dear learners, if any direct narration has a have, am, is, or, it must be changed into was or according to the basic rules of changing narration. Then extension, love, name, English, now will be changed into then according to the basic rules of changing narration. That you have understood clearly. Next, my dear learners, the next example, rice said to me, I must learn English. Okay, my dear learners, try to change this narration. My dear learners, at first, try to use a portion of reporting verb. The rice said to me, middle of the statement, use that conjunction that, then try to change subject, look at the board and try to understand I first person, and it's this subject must be changed according to subject of reporting mark Raisha. Okay, my dear learners, so Raisha is a feminine gender, and according to the rules of grammar we'll have to use instead of feminine gender the name of feminine gender she. Okay, my dear learners, then verb must will be changed into had to. Then extension learn English. Hope that you have understood clearly. Next example, my dear learners, Rahim say to me, you can go out now. My dear learners, try to solve this problem. Report a portion of reporting verb. Raisha said to me, middle of the statement, conjunction that. Then look at the board and try to follow the above subject. Here, subject of reported space, of course, second person, and according to the rules of basic change rules of fashion, it's must be changed according to object. Here, object me, and subjective form of me, of course, I. Okay, so right, I can change into code extension go out now must be changed into then must be changed into then that you have understood clearly. My dear learners, look at the board and try to understand. Next example, example number 4. Swipe said to me, comma inverted comma, Raisha is a good girl. Okay, my dear, let's try to solve this problem. So I said to me that now follow the structure, follow the sentence. My dear learners, subject of reported speech right of course third person, and according to the rules of changing narration, if subject of reported speech third person, there is no any change. So you'll have to use or write here, right? Sure. Then change verb is must be changed into was, then extension good, gal. Okay, my dear learners, next example, my dear learners, example number 5. The teacher said to us, man is mortal. Okay, my dear learners, take a look at the board and try to understand, and try to solve yourself. The teacher said to us, middle of the statement, use that. Now follow the statement. My dear learners, in this sentence, in this narration, in the middle parts of inverted comma, that means repeated space, of course, indicates universal truth. Universal truth, and in this case, you'll have to mind that, my dear learners, if repeated space of any narration indicates the sense of universal truth, there is no any change. There is no any change of person and a verb and adverb. You'll have to mind that, my dear learners. You have to write down the answers of the situation. So write down man is mortal. Hope that you have understood clearly. Next example, my dear learners. Rohim says to me. Rohim says to me, I was ill. Yes, Chade. Okay, my dear learners. Next example, rice will show me. I will go to school tomorrow. Okay, my dear learners. Try to solve this problem. Raisha says to me. Raisha will says to me. Rohim says to me. Middle of the statement use that. Now, maybe learners try to follow the reporting verb of the portion of reported space. Here, in this sentence, say is used as like as reported reporting verb, and in this sentence, will say is used as like as reporting verb. Mind that, my dear learners, there are three forms of every principal verb: V1, V2, and V3. Suppose one category is the verb said, said. You'll have to mind that, my dear learners. If any present form, that means V1 form or future form, will say is used at the place of said. At the place of said. You'll have to mind that, my dear learners. In this sketch, you'll have to change only person. Only person, except person. You should not change. According to the basic rules of narration, verb and adverb. Verb and adverb. Hope that you have understood clearly. My dear learners, here subject I, it must be changed according to subject of repeating verb Rohim. He was ill, yes, Children. Here I will be changed according to subject to Raisha. She will go to school tomorrow. Hope that you have understood clearly. My dear learners, now I am trying to write example number 8. I am learning English now. Said Narration. Okay, my dear learners, take a look at the board and check to understand. In this sentence, reported space is I'm learning English now. Reporting verb said Raisha. In this case, my dear learners, you have to mind that, my dear learners, sometimes it is seen that repeating verb is used last of the statement, but no problem. At the time of changing narration, you have to write down repeating verb first at first of the sentence. So, my dear learners, try to solve this problem. Raisha said that here's subject I, of course, first person, and this subject must be turned according to subject of reporting verb, Raisha. She, then verb am must be changed into was, then extension learning English now must be changed into then. Okay, my dear learners, of that you have understood clearly. My dear learners, next example, I'm trying to write. I must learn English. Look at the board and try to understand. My dear learners, and this question, of course, reported space. And in this case, you have to mind that, my dear learners, sometimes it is seen that there is no any reporting verb of narration at the time of changing narration from direct to indirect. In this case, what should you do, my dear learners? I know that, my dear learners, you'll be able to reply my questions, but I'm trying to share some information with you, my dear learners. In this case, many grammatists use various kinds of concepts. Some writers say that he said to me, they said to me, people said to me, etc. But according to my mind, we should write down as reporting verb. The speaker said to me. The speaker said to me. The speaker said to the listener. Okay, my dear learners, if there is no any refuting verb of a sentence of direct narration, you'll have to imagine the refuting verb. The speaker said to the listener. The speaker said to the listener, it's better to use as like a refuting verb according to your mind. You are told personally, my dear learners, maybe various kinds of concept, but no problem. But you are told according to my concept. The speaker said to the listener. Middle of the statement, try to use that. Then subject, change subject, here subject I and it must be changed according to subject of reporting verb. Speaker he, then must will be changed into had to, then extension learn English. Okay, my dear learners, hope that you have understood clearly. My dear learners, I don't London to discuss more, but I want to share some information with you before finishing to discuss, my dear learners. of course, you know that my dear learners, I'm a new tutor or new teacher in YouTube channel. Though I'm a Bangladeshi by birth, but I'm trying to use English conversation at the time of making various kinds of my video classes. So, my dear learners, if you notice any faults or mistakes in the midst of my video classes, so please excuse me and pray to Almighty Allah so that I can help you, I can serve you, I can comfort you in this joy through my video classes throughout my life. So, my dear listeners, no more today. Come to see you again with a new version of the video class. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.